everyone. Thanks so much for joining me for this week's episode of When I Grow Up. On today's episode, it is my pleasure to welcome my friend, Shirley Shin. Hey, Shirley, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry that I have not had you on earlier.
That's okay.
No, well, before we started recording, Shirley and I were talking about the podcast itself. And for those of you that don't know and aren't frequent listeners of the podcast, Shirley is her husband is a fellow podcast host, and who I like to say is the godfather of Asian American podcasting in Atlanta. David Shin, he hosts I Hope They Hear This. But yeah, like I was just saying how Shirley has never been on David's podcast.
Well, at least to talk about this stuff. I did for my birthing story.
Oh, that's right. I don't know how I forgot about that. The birthing story. Guys, actually, that was a really good one. Go listen to it. Shirley's birthing story is crazy, and she's crazy, but because we had such different birthing stories. But
right.
All that to say, it is my honor to have you on today. So thanks for giving me the time.
Thank you for having me.
No, I really appreciate it. It is 10 p.m. past 10 p.m. right now, and that is mostly because Shirley, not only she's going to tell you what she does, but not only does she do all of the other stuff, but she's also a full-time mom and full-time wife, and she just put her kids down to sleep so that she could hop on here with me. So again, super grateful. How was your day, Shirley?
It was all right. I've been pretty busy with my real job, I guess.
Yes.
My day job. So I've been busy doing that, and then allergies kind of got me bad, but finally all the medicine that I took today kicked in, so I'm okay now.
Oh gosh, that's the worst. I don't really have allergies, but Zoe does.
Oh no.
And I just feel so, I mean, and David does too, but I feel so bad for Zoe mostly because I can see how much it irritates her, but Flonase has worked.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What is that? Like a spray?
It's like a mist you put in your nose.
Interesting.
Because a lot of hers is upper nasal passageway, but that's helped a lot. What do you take?
Well, I just took Claritin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so yesterday it was really bad. All day I even with the allergy medicine it wouldn't clear
up.
Oh. Yeah, and I was just sneezing and my nose was running all day. But then this morning it almost felt oh my gosh, did it become a sinus infection? Because my head was just and I could just felt the pressure, and it was different because I get migraines often, and it wasn't a migraine, so at least it wasn't starting as a migraine. And so I was oh no, but then I ate Tylenol and Claritin again and stuff like that, and now I'm fine.
Great. So now Shirley's all drugged up for this interview.
And caffeinated. I drink some coffee too.
Perfect. I'm excited. Well, Shirley, I guess I know all the things that you do, but if you could start with your day job, and then I would like to kind of focus today on the side stuff that you do in addition to your day job.
Sure. Okay, so my day job is civil site engineer, but I technically don't have the license, so it would be civil site designer. But yeah, basically I just draw plans. I work with your husband David.
Yes. You're literally the reason he has this job.
No. I just introduced him to the job, but so I just do plans for the ground. It's basically what I do.
Okay, she does a lot more than that. Okay, so a civil engineer is, you say what do you mean? What do you mean the ground?
So it's basically if there's like a site, like a piece of land,
Uh-huh.
and if something wants to go in it, like a shopping center,
Okay.
we do a lot of commercials, so we do shopping centers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We would design the land so that a shopping center can go in. Yeah.
Oh.
So make sure we'll design storm sewer so when it rains it won't flood. We'll design it so that you can get sanitary sewer, so like toilets and stuff can leave the building, and that water, sink water and stuff can go into the building, and then design ponds so that every site, if you don't know, it actually has like a pond. A lot of them have one that you can actually see, but if not, they're underground. So whenever it rains, all the water has to go there or else it'll flood.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's that.
So if a parking lot floods, is it like bad design? It shouldn't flood, right?
Right. Not on a daily. I mean, we don't design it for like probably like a 25-year storm. So meaning like the really bad ones come only every 25 years.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what? Really bad storms only come every 25 years?
So
is that a thing though?
So I guess there's like levels of storms.
Okay.
And then 1 out of 100 is like 100-year storm. Then in 100 years, that one storm, the really bad storm that comes, would be a 100-year storm.
I see. Okay.
And then in 25 years, if every 25 years a storm comes, then it's a 25-year storm.
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit less. But if there's like a really bad storm, we don't design it for that great of a storm, because then we would basically not be able to put in a parking lot because we would have to make a pond so big, right? So then they don't make it that big. So sometimes they're okay with it flooding a little bit. But if it floods every rain, then yeah, that's a problem.
I see. So the drainage water goes to this small, like, what I'm imagining a parking lot, and then under it is like a small pond, like a dip.
Yeah, so under it would be like a lot of, almost like a box. Think of it like a box that holds the water. And then the water eventually, though, will go to the closest stream, river.
Really?
So everything around here would go to that Chattahoochee River, near our house. All of it eventually goes there. In
That's
our
insane.
area, in this county, yeah.
So you guys you have to design all of that too, in addition to the parking lot itself?
So so already we know that at this site, X amount of water goes to this pond naturally, right? So we just design it so that after everything is in, X amount of water there won't be more than the X amount of water already going to that pond. Okay.
Okay.
So there'll be less.
I see.
Because usually if there's like a land and it has a lot of grass, the grass will eat the water. But then when we put it in pavement, the grass won't eat it, so it'll just flow right off.
Right.
So we have to take that into account and then make it all go to a pond first, and then slowly leave the site to go back to the river.
You guys, what's more interesting to me is like David used to do the same thing Shirley does, and I had no idea. like literally, I was like, oh, civil engineers, they design. Like, I don't know what I thought. Actually. But okay. So like, because like your firm, there are different moving parts to a construction site, right? And
there's
so
a
like
lot.
you're just one part of one of those moving parts, like, and David's team is structural, so like they work on the building itself. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So basically, like on my plans, I will draw like a line for where the building goes.
Okay.
And then from the building part, I have no idea what happens. And then David will come in and make sure the building will stand.
Oh, interesting.
With the architects.
Okay. So
and like, he does like walls outside though, but that's that
Do you
too.
guys
But
ever work on like cross projects?
yeah, so a lot of times, I mean, if so sometimes in a situation where, he's gonna have to put a wall up on a building, but then I need to put a pipe like right outside of the building. Then I gotta ask him and make sure that the pipe is not gonna get crushed by his wall.
Oh.
So stuff like that we'll cross. And also he does like retaining walls outside.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
That's structural too. So if I need to put up a wall outside, not in the building, but just like another wall just outside of on the site somewhere, then and we're happen to be on the same project, then yeah, we'll work together
I
somewhat.
see.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll just tell him like, hey, this is the kind of wall I need. Can you design it so it'll work? Basically. And then I guess
Oh,
he'll do his own thing. I don't know what he does.
that's
I just
cool.
get his whatever he gets and put it on my plans.
Um, okay, that is all really fascinating. However, like I feel like your day job, Shirley, is
Mm-hmm.
not like your main focus these days. I don't know though. I don't know. It's just like when I
Right.
talk to you, I feel like your heart is somewhere else.
Right.
Um
Yeah.
and that's really the reason why I brought you on today. I know that you don't hate your job,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, your day job, but at the same time, you got a lot of side, not a lot of side things. I just say that because I feel like you always have this brilliant idea and then you want to like execute it and then
Uh-huh.
you have a lot of different ideas. And I think you even you have encouraged me to like do things too. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Shirley, you're crazy. Like one time, I think I was like just talking about like Brazilian cheese bread, and you were like, "Let's do it! Like
Yeah.
let's make a company right now." I'm
Yes.
like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, can't do it. But yes, Shirley recently, I think you started when during COVID,
For what, Aisley and June?
Aisley and June, yeah.
Yeah, yes. It was 29, no, not 2019. Last year, January
Okay.
is when I technically launched.
Okay. So, Shirley owns a, I guess a baby clothing company, right?
Yes.
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 And I don't know anything about it other than it's doing really well right now. And she has really cute clothes. So I'm excited to talk to you more about where your heart is these days when it comes
Okay.
to your business. But it's called Aisley and June.
Mm-hmm.
I so the first thing I'd love to know is why did you start Aisley and June? In all honesty.
All right. I guess I kind of have to go like bigger picture,
Mm.
but it's not that I started it AZ in June because I have this passion to sell baby clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not that. I guess I have this like I don't want to call it passion, but I just want to make something and make money.
Yeah.
That's
No,
not my
I
day
mean,
job.
okay, so like I think there's something to this because I feel like we started having these conversations when you first brought it up to me. Oh, you guys, so what is shocking sometimes for me about Shirley and her personality is like she'll like just tell me like off the cuff, like just real briefly, "Hey, like I'm I've been looking at wholesale baby clothes and they're really cute and I think I'm just going to start a business." And I'm like, "Cool, you should do it." Literally, I feel like the next following week I got an Instagram up like a what do you call that? Notification like, "Oh, like follow Aisley and June," right? And I'm like, "What is this now? Like what is she doing?" Right? But
Right.
it's like I admire that about you so much. But the reason you brought it up to me was because okay, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this. If
I don't think there's anything we can't talk about.
okay,
So
okay. Just tell me if but like I feel like you brought it up, yes, to make money, but I also feel like you really have a heart to stay at home with your children,
right,
right?
yeah.
Like ultimately, like that's what your heart is to just be able to make money so that
Right.
you can care for your kids at home.
Right.
Right?
Yes. So like I guess um yeah, like my civil engineering, the job itself, like it's actually really fun. I don't mind it, but I think it was before I got pregnant with Aisley, my firstborn. I was like at work, sitting there. It was like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, I can't believe like I would have to sit here every day, and I had like plans to have kids at this point, and I was like, I can't believe I have to sit here every day if I have kids at home, like being raised by other people, and I just did not like that, and so I also, so I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but then I also like I think I just have this like innate want to like hustle and want to like make money. And so I just like I was like, what can I do to like be able to not have a day job that and just be able to be flexible and work from home with my kids when I have kids.
Yes.
And so like that's kind of how it started, and then I just constantly just was thinking about what to do and stuff. And so that's how I'm here now.
Yes. Before like we get into the details of Aisley and June, can you tell me a little bit more about, so that was the bigger picture, right? And that is true. Like the hustle part about you, I feel like I'm not like that. I'm like David's like, yeah, let's just stick to like you, like he's like, you're not that good at making money. So like ministry is good for you, Blair. I'm like,
yes,
yes,
I mean,
yes. Like,
ministry is really good for you. I don't know about the money part, but
I will, surrender to that, submit to that. But anyways, yeah, your first endeavor that like was really great and you really put the work in, Softy.
yes.
Man, if you were here during the generation and genesis of Softy, and like, and then there are people listening, they're like, man, I miss Softy so much. Like me, I'm like, I wish I knew a catering bubble tea person, right? But anyways, yeah, tell us about Softy.
Okay, so well, I guess, but while I was I guess to start, while I was at work, sitting there at my desk, bored, and like, okay, what can I do to like be able to make money? That's not my day job. And I just started like thinking, like, what can I do? What can I do? I don't know what I can do. And I don't know why, but I'm trying to think. I don't know if this is first or second, but anyways, but I mean, I love bubble tea, which these days everyone loves bubble tea, right? But then I think I went to New York, and I went to New York, and then I went to this dessert shop, and they sold bubble tea, obviously. And I searched for all the good bubble tea places in New York. And so I like went to all of them, and then, but one of them was special because it had bubble tea in ice cream form.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, in soft serve form. So like, like soft serve is different from ice cream because soft serve, it's like, it has a different texture. You know what I'm talking about?
It's not
like,
ice cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it was delicious. Like, it was so good.
Wait, so okay, hold on. So like it's bubble tea with soft serve, like a float, or
no? So it's like flavored, right? So black milk tea flavored soft serve. Oh. And then it would just be like, yeah. I mean, you're just drink. The like black milk tea, right? That's like very just basic bubble tea. But then that in soft serve form, and then they'll put boba on top, so you get the
yum
boba too. Yeah, it was so good. And And then so like after I tried that, I was like, this is so good. Like we need to have, why don't we have this in Georgia? I mean, we don't have much in Georgia at that time. Like now it's blown up. So boba shops are everywhere, right? But back then there wasn't that many. But then also my parents, when I was like in high school, college, they owned frozen yogurt shops.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And my mom owned it, and she like, the thing about her, well, our shop was like, she would actually make the flavors. Like it wasn't just like bought, like, you know, you can buy the flavors and just throw it into the machine and that's your flavor. But my mom would actually experiment and make the flavors like however way she wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so because of that, we kind of knew like how to get like a better consistency and stuff like that too. And because of that, like I kind of know the know-how for that. And then on top of that, like I had, well, our yogurt shops all closed down, but I had some of the machines in the storage, and those machines are really expensive. I mean, they're like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a machine, and we had a couple. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I can try this.
Yes.
So let me go back to Georgia and think this up, and I'm going to make a soft serve bubble tea business.
Yes.
It's kind of how it started.
I see.
And so that's kind of like the origin. But then what happened is you need a lot of money, right? You need a lot of money to open up a store. Like if you actually get a store and, you know, build it up and open it up, it's going to cost like $100K minimum.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't have that money.
Yeah.
And so from there, it just went to, okay, so what can I do in the meantime to make money to open up this business, like storefront, to open up a storefront. And I mean, from there, I was just thinking like, what can I do? Okay, well, I actually tried really looking into getting a portable soft serve machine. And I actually did buy one, which
you did?
Yeah, I did buy one. It did cost some money, but the way to get it to work, I would need like a massive generator. Like you can't just get it to work with even like residential power. It won't work. You need like commercial power. Yeah.
What?
And
so what makes it portable then?
It's just smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Let me take that back. It's not portable. I thought it would be portable.
I see. Because it's smaller.
Yeah.
It's smaller. Yes. I see. Okay.
And so I was like, okay, well, I need to carry this thing around. But also on top of that, it's like 400 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so I would need to carry this 400-pound thing and a huge generator. And so I was trying to think of ways how I can do this. And it just was not feasible. And so I saw somewhere, as I was thinking this up, I saw somewhere they were selling coffee on this cart. They just made a cart and it looked really nice, and they were just selling coffee. And I was like, oh, then maybe I can do that with bubble tea. Until I can make money to do something with the soft serve.
Yes.
And so I made a logo, just the basic stuff. And then I figured out how to make bubble tea to drink. And then I just made a cart. And then I was like, okay, well, where can I sell it? I guess there's these farmers markets going around town. Let me just find a whole bunch of farmers market and events. And so I looked up every event possible in around us, around in this city, Suwannee, Gwinnett County, wherever. And I looked up everywhere, but then there was one in Norcross that I don't know, I actually applied or like tried to sign up for a lot, but a lot of them were like filled that I couldn't really get in. But then there was one in Norcross that let me come, and it was cheap. It was like $20 to come and just set up your own booth and stuff. And so I just did that. And then, but I mean, I can't make money just from these markets that no one comes to. So
we came, your crew came.
You are the best. My friends came like every week to support me.
Yeah, they did.
But and so I just decided, okay, then I can not only go to these events that are like public, but I can try to go to private events and cater to them. And so that's kind of how it was.
I love how you just like very nonchalantly, it was like, oh yeah, and then I made a cart. And then I figured out how to make bubble tea, and like I'm like, no girl, like, okay, let me break it down for you. As Shirley's friend, this girl from scratch built a bubble tea cart out of like with her own tool. You bought tools, right?
Right.
And that's how you got into like woodwork stuff, right?
No, I was always into woodworking.
Okay.
And so, but I never made a cart before.
Yeah. So like you see things like that and you're like, yes, let's do it. And I'm like, no, thank you. Let's hire somebody, right? But like, I remember she made a cart, and then like I was so impressed by it because like you had to have like, did you have water stuff in it or no?
Oh yes. I made a sink. And I had like a water pump that and it would just connect to like, you know, those huge 5-gallon water things that you can take, like people put it upside down. There's a fountain.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had that, and that was my water supply. And then I had like just a huge 5-gallon Home Depot bucket where all the dirty water would go into.
Was that enough water?
So I had 2 5-gallon things.
Okay.
In case, but I almost never needed the second one. Okay. Yeah, it was one. Actually, maybe it might not be 5-gallon. I don't know. It was a lot of water though.
I see.
So every event we would have to fill it back up. And then after the event we would have to throw away the water, the dirty water. Yeah.
Like, and then how did you come up with like recipes?
I liked, you know, I mean, there's like the very simple ones like black milk tea, oolong milk tea, jasmine green milk tea, like just, you know, the ones that are just you get from all the boba shops. And then I just Googled it and then kept trying till I found one that I liked.
That's so crazy. Okay,
and I would buy teas from many different. I just like looked it up and bought teas from many different companies.
So like you enjoy this part, right?
I think I do. Yes.
Okay. Like the experimenting, the research, right? Like for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so overwhelmed. Like just thinking about it. Like I remember you telling me that you would try out new recipes and stuff. But like me, I'm like so like a perfectionist that I feel like I would be intimidated to even try.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess like from that experience at Soft Tea, right? Like was there any like big lessons that you learned from it?
Big lessons,
or like it, like things that like if you could do it again, you would do it differently the second time around.
I don't know if I can say I can do anything differently because I think I just see that's my problem. Actually, I don't know if it's a problem, but I'll just like keep just trying things until I get to the right one. But I don't know if that doing it again, like if I say I can take away from that trying, like I don't know if it'll help me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's, of course, you know, I wish I had the money to just bypass all of that trying, you know, pay someone to build me a store, then that would be ideal. But, you know, not everyone has the money to do that.
Humble beginnings. So, you know, that's
right.
That's the best part, I think, of it. But okay, well, I know that soft tea would have been great, but then surely, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I can assume why it closed,
Yeah,
but
so I was
life
actually
happened. So,
yeah, I was going to make it into a storefront. And I actually started talking to leasing people, and then COVID hit. Literally, the lockdown hit like 2 weeks after I was like talking with somebody,
oh my
and
gosh.
then I just lost all confidence, I think. And I think at this point, like so many other boba shops already popped up, and
Mm,
I just didn't have as much confidence anymore because, well, so my parents like I was like a little bit not confident because thinking it was like it could be another fad, like a
I see.
boba can be a
Yeah,
fad and it can
yeah,
just die next year or
yeah.
something. I don't know if it is, but yeah.
I mean, like, and it's very risky, like starting a
Right.
business, right?
Right, yeah.
And I feel like, again, that's where you're like, you surely are very, like, I don't know the word. You're a risk taker, or you like, I feel like you like that kind of stuff. Like,
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not that risk taking because if I was, I would have taken out a loan and gotten
oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
gotten a
yeah.
store. I think
Yeah,
I only risk as much as I think I can
I
handle.
see. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope soft tea revives one day, but until then, so like you just kind of, you put it on the back burner because you still have your quote unquote portable soft serve machine, right?
Yeah, still in my garage. And I have four big ones too, for I was like ready to put it in
Okay,
the
so maybe
store.
one day, one
Yeah.
day. Because maybe one day the your second endeavor in the
Uh-huh.
last couple years will take off
Hopefully.
and then you can use that money to
Yes. Yeah, maybe. That's the
um
goal.
yes. Well, that brings us to your current business,
Uh-huh.
Aisley and June. Um which I'm excited to talk about because I feel like for me as your friend and an outsider just kind of watching things happen from the sidelines, I'm so excited like for you and this company that's growing, um I think quickly. I don't know how you feel about it, but yeah, so tell us more about Aisley and June if you can.
Yeah, so I guess yeah, Softy ended because COVID happened and I couldn't cater anymore and all the
Right.
markets closed and everything closed. And plus it was so much work to have to prepare all of that. When you don't have a store or anywhere to do it, so much work. And poor David, I mean, he's like the best. He did so much like work for
Mm.
me,
Mhm.
like physical, because we have to carry that cart everywhere, and stuff like that. But anyways, so COVID happened, it kind of died down, and so now I'm just doing whatever, and then um, I just like loved buying stuff for AZ, right?
Yes.
So at this point, AZ was a not even no one. So
Mm.
around the time she was one and a half, like I started to oh no, my cousin shipped me some clothes from Korea for AZ, and they were so cute,
Mm.
and they were like not like American clothes.
Mhm.
And I just like I loved it so much. And then like when I put it on her, it was so cute on her. And everyone likes dressing their babies. And then so like I just kind of had, I guess the idea in my head. And then um I started to buy so much stuff from Korea, just like even like crackers, right? Because Korean crackers, they're like a little different. American ones, for some reason, they always have a little bit of sugar and sodium.
Yes.
For even the baby ones, but for these Korean ones, they were straight like they're like tteokbang,
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
they're just rice crackers.
Right.
Like there's no extra sodium in it, there's no extra sugar in it, and like and so I would buy them from Korea and stuff, right? And I'm like, I'm buying so much stuff from Korea. Like, why don't I just buy more and sell it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I can maybe get my monies back for at least stuff for Aisley. You know?
Mm.
That's kind of how the idea started. And then um I was like, okay, then let me just do that.
So easy. So easy.
I mean, yeah, and so I was like, let me find where I can. And so I started just searching the internet. Like I was ready to like, all right, maybe I need to go to Korea, like, and look for stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously, COVID happened, and that's also another expense just to go to Korea.
Yeah.
For 2 people, 3 people, really including AZ, that's like $2,000 a ticket.
Yeah.
$6,000 right there. But anyway, so I was just searching the internet and stuff like that, and then I found someone who like actually like wholesales these clothes.
So like, okay, wait, can I just stop you real quick? So like when
Uh-huh.
David, my David makes fun of me all the time because he says like I suck at Googling things.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not even kidding. Like, and I'm starting to believe him because I literally cannot find the things that he finds. And I'm like, how did you find this? But so like for me, I'm thinking like, what do you even search? Like wholesale Korean baby clothes or like
Yeah. I don't know. I just searched wholesale clothing. And I don't know. I just pop. You just kind of keep going down the rabbit hole, and it
I
just comes
see.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's what Georgia Tech does to us. You
I
don't
was
know
gonna say
any of the
you Georgia Tech people.
like you don't know anything, so you gotta Google it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I just Googled and oh, like I would look up the clothes that my cousin shipped me.
I see. Okay.
I would look up those brands, and I'll just look online, and then I would look on Naver because Naver is like Korean Google.
Yes.
And so like I don't know, I would just try all these different things, and eventually I found something.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so I was like, okay, then I'll just um make a boutique. So and so all I have to do is this is perfect because now I don't need a storefront, right? I don't need to spend $100,000 making a storefront. I can just make an online website. And then I looked up how much it costs to make an online website, and it's like $20 to buy a domain. And then I ended up paying, I think, and then it was like, I forget, like $50 a month to have a website or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's something I can afford.
Yeah.
And then I'll just buy some clothes that I want for Aisley. It's like I'm going shopping anyways, right? So if I'm going to buy stuff for Aisley at X, I'm already going to pay like so upcharged anyways because I'm buying it for a baby for Aisley, and I'm going to pay X amount of shipping anyways. Like if I can buy it cheaper and I can buy 2 for the same price as I would have one, right? Like if I wanted to buy 1 shirt, I can buy it for wholesale and get 2 for the same price as I would have bought it for 1, and I can sell the other one.
Yeah.
Then like why not? I'm going to spend that money anyways.
Makes sense.
So that's what I did.
So
I
let's just start a boutique. Just teasing.
Yeah, so I just bought. I literally bought. I don't know. It was probably $800 worth of clothes that I wanted for Aisley.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Which
is a lot, but I mean, at this point, I was already like gonna start it. But I probably would have bought like at least. I would have easily spent like $200-300 just to buy some clothes, right? So just make it $800, sure. Actually, I opened the credit card to do this, a 0% APR credit card. And so I bought it, and then I just uploaded it, and that's how it started. Yeah, and I just made an Instagram account and just uploaded it. Yeah.
Okay, so you start doing this, and you start doing this, and like, at what point did you start getting like traffic to your site?
So I started January of 2021. And then I got pregnant and I got really sick.
That's right.
So
I
I
remember now.
stopped doing it
Yeah.
until, and then in October, I had the baby,
Mm-hmm.
my second born, Kaylin. She was born in September, and then I was on maternity leave now. So I started it back up in October, and I'm only really starting to get traffic now, I feel like.
Mm.
You know, my first for the first, like last January and then maybe October when I started back up, my customers were like you, you know, friends. And then I just kept like just trying, and I just kept posting things online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and then eventually like someone I don't know would buy, and then I just keeps going like that.
Okay, so like I guess what am I Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. So like when you start a shop online
Mm-hmm.
like that and through Instagram, like a lot of people come in through Instagram, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not like they just pop on your website all of a
Right.
sudden. Like do you need to have a business license?
So I have an LLC.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not like a separate license because it's online.
Okay, okay.
And honestly, at this point, like my accountant said I don't need one specific to my state right now
Okay, okay.
because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like
No, I think that's
nationwide.
right. I think that's right. I was
Yeah.
just curious to how that works. But um and like I feel like again as an outsider looking in onto like your Instagram feed time to time, right? Like
Uh
there
huh.
was a huge uptick
Uh huh.
from like January to now.
Right.
Um and I feel like you found your niche a little bit.
Yes. So uh, definitely everyone likes Disney.
Yes.
And that's kind of my niche. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Um, so it's funny because I went to Disney during the holidays,
Yes. Yes.
December, and because of that, like see, that's the thing. David like jokingly always says like Aisley and June is really just like your own shopping spree kind of thing. Because I would just go and I like was like, all right, we plan to go to Disney. It was like November, and I was like, well, then I need to buy a lot of Disney clothes, right?
Right, right.
And so for Aisley and for Kaylin, and so I just started buying Disney clothes, and again I bought more, and then I uploaded them, and that's where I started to see a lot of traction come in.
Isn't that so crazy? Okay, so like
Yeah.
for me, I just find it so fascinating because yeah, like for me it's so interesting that it was a personal thing
Right.
that just did well. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, I thought like because we hadn't talked about it at all, like me and you, but I thought, wow, Shirley is a genius. Like she
No.
is brilliant. Like
No.
why didn't I think of this?
Uh-huh.
Like to like suggest to you even? And I'm
Mhm.
like, because one, like, yes, you are right. Every mom at this season of life, right?
Right.
Like in our season of like having toddlers,
Uh-huh.
like we want our kids to look cute when we go to
Right?
Disney. Like
Yeah. You
and
go for the
then
pictures.
yes, and like everything these in a what do you call it? A world that everything is like needs to be Instagrammable,
Mhm.
right? Like it makes perfect sense. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Shirley, like this business situation, like she's so smart. Like how did she even think of this? And like you guys, like literally everything on Ace. Oh, I talked to somebody today actually because I told them we were
Uh-huh.
having this interview, and then she actually said Aisley and June's Instagram feed like makes me want to have children. Just so that I can
Uh-huh.
buy clothes from Aisley and June. And I'm like, yes, like I completely agree. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's so cute if you haven't checked it out. But but yeah, so like I all this to say, I mean just to give some perspective, like and I feel the numbers are big. I know that probably Shirley will feel like so like not embarrassed, like just shy about the situation. But
No,
like,
yeah, no, I'm pretty
like
small.
right, it started at I think in January, or no, not even January, like a month ago.
Uh-huh.
It was like 3,300 followers,
Uh-huh.
and then I think within like 2 or 3 weeks, it went to like 5,500,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, what the heck is going on? Because for me, it's like, I mean, obviously, right? It's
Uh-huh.
common sense. The more traffic you get, the more orders you're gonna get in, and then
Uh-huh.
like, man, and then anyways, I'm excited for you, Shirley.
Thank you.
I think it's really great.
Thank you.
So what has been like your biggest obstacle thus far in starting Aisley in June, or even just like as you're running the business?
Definitely time. So like, obviously I have a day job and I have 2 kids that I did not soup train. So it's it's a lot. It takes a while for me to put them down to sleep and stuff like that. But like so David's actually telling me like if you want to grow, like maybe you should put in so much more time into Aisley and June. Like maybe I can quit my day job, but like I can't do that either. Like there's too much stuff I want to do. I guess I want to keep that. I want to be with my kids. I want to do these businesses. I want to do church. Like so much stuff. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely my biggest obstacle is like time right now because as you kind of said it before, but basically like the only way I have like visual to my business, I don't know how to explain it. Like the only way people can see me, right? Because it's not a storefront, is through Instagram. And so I need to do a lot of Instagram marketing. And according to a lot of Instagram specialists, they're like, you need to put in 3 reels a week, post every day, have a story multiple times a day.
Yes, I too have read these and watched these things, and for me, like it's like for the podcast, what I mean, and like I am like, this is for my life right now. It is not realistic for me to do this.
It is not, because one post is not like a 10-minute thing,
right?
It takes like an hour,
right? Thank you, Shirley, because I'm like I get so stressed even like writing some of the bios for the or the like what do I write in this caption?
Yes. And you rewrite it and you rewrite it and rewrite it, and then like an hour's passed.
And then you're like, yes, exactly. And like, how did we get here? And then like they want me to make a reel, and I'm like, this is gonna take me forever.
I don't, honestly, like, okay, reels that's not even like an hour. That's like a whole day thing. Like, and then like, especially because I'm a clothing business, when I have to get like it on Aisley.
Right.
But now she's like full on toddler. She will not like, she has to be in a good mood.
Right.
Have to like.
But she's usually so good though, no? About posing and stuff?
Back then, you don't see many posts anymore with her.
Oh, I guess you're right. You're right.
And it's so hard. Like, I don't have the time for it. And then like sometimes like, it's one thing when I'm behind a computer desk and working, but it's another thing when I'm just downstairs and I'm on my phone like this, and like AZ would be like, Mom, can you put your like phone down?
Yes.
And like I get guilty too. And then sometimes like there are plenty of times where I was trying to make a reel. You're playing the same music over and over again, like trying to get the timing to match up. And then when you post it doesn't even match. So it's so annoying. Anyways,
are we like, do we sound like Ajumas? Right? Like, do we sound like so?
So I like read more into it. Apparently there's other apps you're supposed to do it on. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, you
'Cause
know, I did hear about this too because some people I follow were having like issues with their timing
yeah, it's
and they
like
reached out
perfect.
to like the Instagram community and
Yes.
then they like reposted, "Hey, like these are some solutions to this problem." Yeah, you're right. I remember this
Yeah.
now. But
And it's so hard. I mean, like to putting these pictures, it's not even like a second. It's like a third of a second. You know,
oh
like
my god, I'm
it's
dead.
so
This is so
crazy.
funny to me. Yes, you're
And
right. You're right.
and like at one point, like not at one point, many points, I'm sitting there doing it. It's like I have to be with them, right? Because I have to watch them. So
Yeah.
I'm with them in the living room. And then like I find myself like getting frustrated at them. So like AZ would be like, "Mom, can you do this?" I'm like, "Just wait." And she'll be, "Do this." I'm wait. And she'll be like, "Do this." I'm like, "Just wait." You know, like
Yes.
and
No,
then like
totally. Yeah.
and then like after that I realized like, is this worth it for me to get so frustrated at her
Yeah.
when she just wants to spend time with me and I'm
Yeah.
sitting here on my phone? Like sometimes she would come and like pick up my phone and throw it.
So bold.
Yeah, and like I get upset at her, but then at the same time I understand like my mom's here but she's just staring at her phone this like the whole time, and like I it's like it almost seems worse than being away from her. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, like being away from her or being next to her but being on my phone the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. It's something I'm still working on, but anyways, and so like I have to like come back to like, is it worth it for me to like be doing all this stuff? I'm doing like, because initially like we talked about like I did this so I can spend time with them, right?
Yes.
But I feel like I'm taking away time from them at this point. And so like, yeah, that's what was the question? Like what was the biggest obstacle?
Yes, time. No, but I
Yeah.
completely feel you what you're saying. Like maybe there are other people that are listening right now have no idea what you're talking about or what I'm about to say. But I feel the same exact way. My kids are a little bit older than yours, and I'm at a stage right now where I can tell them like Alma's gonna spend like 10, 15 minutes working. Like I say, it's working on my
Right.
phone. Um, and they'll say okay and they'll give me the space to do that. However, you know, I feel the same way. It's like, okay, like I don't feel as urgent to post social media. I should because I find it important. I find the people that come on my podcast to be important too, and I really appreciate their time and effort. So I want to be able to champion those people as well. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but if it takes away from my priority, which are my
Right.
children, then it can wait.
Right.
You know, like it can wait. And even David, you know, works hard to release every Monday for me and stuff, but like yeah, making reels, making stories, I'm like, when do people have the time to do this?
Right. Yes.
And then I get a little bit triggered too by like um okay, this could be controversial actually. I don't know if I should say it, but
Just say it.
I will.
Okay.
Like for me it's like okay, like the line between like I know you do this for Aisley and June, but like just getting your kids involved.
Right.
You know, like how much do I want? Because I follow a lot of blogging moms on
Mhm.
Instagram, and like it's great, it's fantastic. I love the content. I
Uh-huh.
like kind of am envious in some ways. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like I wish my kids were cool like that too sometimes. But then it's like, but how much do I want them to like be consumed by social media
Right.
at this age, right? But then it's like it's just different. It's a sliding scale. I feel like it's different in every way. But
Yeah.
then it's like, you know, do I want them to be involved like in this way? Anyways. And it's like how
Yeah.
much do I expose them? Should I feel so weird about it sometimes. And
Yeah.
Anyways, all that to say, I get what you're saying. Time is definitely an obstacle for you. I'm sure. I'm like, for me, I'm like, how do you, okay, not even just that, Shirley. When people actually order things, you have to pack them
Oh my
and
gosh,
ship
yes.
them.
That's a whole
Like
nother.
me, I don't have to ship anything. I just release an episode. But like, um, yeah, when do you do all that?
So like I would either do it late at night
Uh-huh.
or during the day I'll like find time and David will like help watch the kids and stuff like that. Then I'll do it then. I did have so during the afternoons I'm actually not at work in my office. I only go into the office in the mornings and in the afternoons I'm at home. And sometimes if I have the time, I'll do it then because I got a babysitter to come.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. Oh, that's
It's
great.
yeah. So she comes and helps me in the afternoons to watch the kids. Grace, shout out to Grace. She goes to our church.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and so she'll help, and so I'll do it then. But it's funny, like if I don't have an order, I like tell them, oh, I didn't get any orders today or something like that. And then if I get like 10 orders, I'm like, oh, I got 10 orders today. I have to pack. And he's like, there's no satisfying you. But then but yeah, and because of that, actually, as my orders are picking up, it's been later and later that I've been shipping it out. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to find the time, but.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like for people listening that are like, yeah, I really want to start some sort of business in this format, like how does shipping work? I've always wondered, like, how do you do like the weight or is there a flat rate? How does
Oh, so well, first, if you like Shopify is like a really good platform, right? And so if you make a website through there and they have it done pretty well. So once you get an order, it'll like be on their interface, and then when you ship it out, like you can just type it in. You just weigh it. You pack it, and then you just weigh it. You have your own scale, so you have to weigh it, and then you type it in, and then it'll give you options like UPS is X amount, USPS is X amount. And then you just buy. So I'll buy it a shipping label.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually so this is something I've been actually having to go back and forth on because Amazon has spoiled all of us, me included. So like I don't want to pay for shipping, right? But shipping is actually expensive. I'm losing a lot of money because to ship something like it's different for every body. Everywhere. Obviously, if you're Alabama, you're gonna be cheaper than California. Well, because we're in Georgia, right? And so Alabama's closer. So it's different for everybody, but I just kind of had to find like a sweet spot. So initially, like I was charging like $7 or $8 for shipping because that's how much I pay, like 8 to 10, 12, 15. I mean, it depends, but usually like I was paying like $7 to $8 per shipping. So I would charge that. So if someone would buy something, they would get charged a $7 shipping rate. But like I would not get any orders, right? And you can actually see if someone gets to the checkout part, puts in their information, but doesn't check out, it's called an abandoned checkout, and I'll actually see it. I can see who like people's orders, and I'll look at them, and I'm like, I have so many of them, but I don't get like checkouts, and so I'm like, it's probably because of the shipping, and then so I lowered shipping, and I had to play around with it a lot with the pricing and stuff like that. So right now I have like a flat rate for $4.90 because $5 it seems cheaper than $5.
Right.
And it's if they buy over $60, it's free.
Okay.
So I'll just eat it.
Okay.
Because the profit I get from the clothes will kind of, offset the shipping costs, which honestly is not much at all. And I mean, I think it's eventually like, since I'm still beginning, like even though I started last January, I consider myself started in October because that's when I really revamped it. but no one's going to buy from a company that they don't know, like
Sure.
expensive clothes. And my clothes are expensive because getting it shipped from Korea is expensive.
Yeah.
Like even I wouldn't. And so I have to I have to mark it up very little, my clothes. And so I try to keep it pretty cheap. It's still not cheap, but like it's still not like other companies that are bigger can sell it for $45 and I'll sell it for like 38.
Okay.
And so I don't make that much. But, in doing that, I get more customers. I find a customer base, and once I can get their trust, I can slowly start
Sure, yeah.
raising my prices so that I can be more profitable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and so like I just I had to play around with it a lot. Like it actually had dropped it to over $50 as free shipping, but I was losing money so badly. So I changed it to $60.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I'm getting more orders and stuff like that.
Which is
slow growth.
Great. Like how long does it take you to box products? I feel like that would take a long time.
You know what's funny? When I first started, it took me 1 hour to box one order. Yeah, but obviously that is not sustainable.
Yes.
Not sustainable. So now I just I've also gotten better. As I keep doing it, yeah, I get faster at it. Now like instead of boxes, I do bags.
Oh.
So boxes take up a whole nother time because I have flat boxes. I have to build it. I have to tape it. And then the tape I have isn't like the tape you think. It's like water activated tape. So I have to cut it to the length and then I have to wet it and then put it on. And I mean, like just talking about it now, it doesn't seem that much.
No, that seems like ridiculous.
Yeah, Shirley. It takes like minutes, and minutes is valuable.
Like, okay, I see.
So I've gone to I've learned that just those envelope mailers, yes, faster. I just stick it in there and close, and then I just take the sticker off and close it, and so yeah, that's faster. It's also cheaper because it's not heavy. The boxes would add so much weight, and the shipping was so expensive.
Yeah, and
then also like packing it. I used to pack it like a present. Like wrap it like a present. Right, yeah, that was not gonna work. So now it's just kind of more like I just close it with tissue paper instead of like wrapping it like a present.
That's good.
And stuff. So I kind of got I got better at it. I would say
made some improvements.
Yes. Now I can do I think like 8 to 10 orders in an hour.
Nice.
Yeah, before it was not. It was really bad.
So what is the short-term goal for you for Aisley and June? Like let's just say like this year, end of the year.
Like in sales, revenue wise, or
just for the company itself. Like what would you like to see happen?
By the end of this year, I would like to see I guess just that I would get enough sales that I can be more profitable. I guess one thing is I want to go to Korea and actually meet with some of the vendors and figure out how I can directly buy from them.
Yeah.
Because it would be much cheaper.
Right.
And figure out some kind of system that way. That's my goal.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Oh man. So even the Disney stuff comes from Korea?
Yeah. They're all licensed.
They all really do have cute clothes.
Yeah.
Because you can't, and I think that's like the big thing, right? Like you found a market here like that. I mean, I'm sure there are other people that sell Korean wholesale clothes. Do they? I don't know.
There's actually a lot of shops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I feel like some of the vibe of Aisley and June I've seen like at H&M.
Yeah, H&M's Korean.
Oh, did I know this? I might.
And Zara.
I know Zara is.
Yeah.
But so I feel like you could see some of the Disney stuff there.
Yeah.
But it's different, I think, just the platform of like seeing it on your kids in particular, and then like so cute, and
Right.
then I think, I mean, like it's concentrated, right? Like your clothes and stuff like that. But um do you have any advice for somebody that's like wanting to start something but isn't?
I guess the biggest thing is like, first, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just
That's
do it.
good.
Just do it, and you can perfect it while you're doing it. Because if not, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so everything I start is really messy in the beginning, but like at least I started, and I can start knowing, because honestly, like you won't know what you need until you actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think just it's okay if it's not perfect. Just
That's good.
just start, and then you can perfect it as you go.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because I feel like even myself, like I need that kind of permission.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's nothing I want to start right now, but if there is, I do feel like that. Like it needs to be perfect before I launch it or whatever.
Right.
And I think some of the best things start when you just kind of just do it and
Right.
figure it out as you go along. That's really good. Um was there anything else that maybe you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask about or bring up?
Mm, not really.
Okay. Well, well, you guys, if you're listening to this episode and you have questions like about starting a business, about how Shirley like juggles all of these things in her life like a super woman, um, Shirley, would you be open to chatting with people?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you guys reach out. Okay, don't be afraid. Shirley is like one of the most approachable people I've ever met. And she's so lovely and so great. So, um, please don't be scared to reach out. You can DM me through social media, or you can email me at podcastwigu@gmail.com. Shirley, thank you again so much for your transparency today and all of your advice and just sharing like your risk-taking personality skills. I like listen, even though like I feel it's so funny. I'm like, "Oh wow, like Shirley, I've been with you like through it all." I feel like.
Yeah, you have.
But at the same time, I think for me to like hear it in this forum has been really cool, cuz I feel like wow, like I hope you feel like I don't I know you say you're just still figuring it out too, right? Like you haven't,
Right.
you mentioned before we started recording, like you haven't really quote unquote made it.
Yes.
But at the same time, like I feel like you have been so successful in just starting, right? And um wanting to see it through. So thank you again for your time tonight.
Thank you.
I hope you had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had fun.
Good. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.